Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Preimesberger. I'm editor of eWEEK, and welcome to our latest segment of eWEEK eSpeaks. And our distinguished guest this morning is the COO and CTO, correct, of
Yes.
SAS in North Carolina, Oliver Schabenberger. Dr. Schabenberger, welcome, and thanks for joining us today on eSpeaks.
Thank you for having me, Chris. Always a pleasure.
From now on, we call you Oliver only because
that works.
That's
for
what
me.
You want me to do.
That's what my parents figured out too.
Thanks. We had some news here today from SAS at your global forum that you had, a virtual one. The first one you've had is a virtual event, and as we were talking about earlier, they're just as hard to put on as live events. But there was a bunch of news that was announced today, and then yesterday, SAS announced a new partnership, an enhanced partnership, I'm sure, with Microsoft. Can you give us the high level on what that's about?
Yeah, Chris, it's a very, very important partnership, strategic multi-year partnership between Microsoft and SAS. And it's a really very innovative partnership in that it's not just about bringing SaaS workload or a SaaS solution to Microsoft Azure. It is really about how we integrate with the entire Microsoft cloud estate, from Azure Services, Synapse, Dynamics 365, Microsoft 365, and the Power Platform, to service our customers better. What we're hearing is customers say, I'm migrating to transition, whatever the term is, to the cloud, but vendors make it easy for us, get together and help us. So one emphasis of that partnership is facilitating this cloud migration that many of our customers are going through, but also imagining what analytics and artificial intelligence can be like today and in the future. And we see a lot of complementary technology, a lot of congruence of vision between SAS and Microsoft of how digital transformation is transforming businesses and what we can do together. It's really a better together story in bringing our technologies together in the service of digital transformation. If you look at just the missions of the two companies, to empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more for Microsoft, and to transform a world of data into a world of intelligence, to empower with the most trusted analytics for SAS, the democratization of technology for Microsoft, the democratization of analytics, they go hand in hand now that so much of digital transformation is data-driven and is relying on analytics and artificial intelligence to bring value to this deluge of data.
Absolutely. And as I understand it, Oliver, the partnership has a lot to do with similarities in both companies' cultures. Can you describe that a little bit?
Well, that was very important for us, cultural alignment. That will often be said, about partnership. Yeah, it's about culture, but at SAS, we have a very unique culture. It's very important to us. 44-year-old company, one of the largest private software companies in the world, led by our founder, president, CEO, Dr. Goodnight, very employee and customer-centric in our approach. And so sharing this focus and sharing this vision for the future and what we can build together was really, really important. Not all the details have been worked out, right? There's horizons that we go through, but to jointly commit our organization, SAS and Microsoft, to walk this walk together and to find these integration points to really in the service of our customers, to make it easier to migrate to the cloud, to allow analytics and artificial intelligence to be used safely by more without requiring a degree in data science or statistics, to enable others to build technology that can be safely consumed. That was very, very, very important, the cultural alignment and the congruence of the vision. And then there's a lot of complementary technology. This partnership allows me at SAS as a CTO to focus our technology on what we do best: the data management, the data integration, the analytics, the optimization, econometric statistics, artificial intelligence, machine learning. And Microsoft can bring its best to bear. So I can imagine, business applications of the future with analytics at the heart, and the framework to plug into the business processes provided by Microsoft, the combining low code and no code data science with low code and no code application development from Microsoft. Very, very powerful combination that I think could be very disruptive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to think about the two companies and their histories. Both veteran companies, excellent experts in their areas, and very proprietary, frankly, at the very beginning, obviously, when the software business was proprietary. But things have opened up so much in the last decade with regarding, like you mentioned, citizen development, low and no code development, open source.
Yes.
And Microsoft has seen the light in the last several years with its new CEO. And I assume SAS is the same, doing the same. Right?
It's very, very important, very, very important to me. Microsoft has transformed as under the leadership of Satya Nadella, transformed to a cloud company, shifted with a view towards the enterprise, embraced open technologies. We are on the same journey at SAS. Today, our technology, our platform embraces open source. In fact, we architected it so open source technologies can take advantage, open source programming language, of what SAS has to offer. We understand that our customers have choices and exercise them.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that we're part of an ecosystem and contribute to the ecosystem rather than approaching it as there's only one solution, it's ours. Right? This is not the answer that our customers are looking for. So Microsoft understands how to go through these changes and transformations, and actually can help us and lead us in some way in our transformation, our movement to the cloud. As our software is becoming more and more cloud native, our next release that we've announced also at this event, VIA 4, is really fulfilling this to integrate deeply into someone else's platform. This is becoming part of something greater, rather than just to say it is a vendor's point solution and there's nothing else. So it's really about being part of an ecosystem and embracing other technologies and focusing on what you do best.
Yeah, and as a former editor of an open source publication called Linux.com, I totally understand that. And it's building upon what's been done, making things better, adding features, adding new functionality on top of what's out there. This is how we progress. And it's taken some companies a little longer to come around to that because, I mean, after all, they're in business for profit. I understand that. But the collaboration is so important. And I was so glad to see Microsoft do that, make that change. And I know that SAS is doing the same. Oliver, I want to thank you very much for your time today. I think that I'm honored to have you on, and I have a lot of respect for what SAS does in this business. And it's one of the pioneers in analytics. There's no question about it, if not the pioneer in data analytics. And good luck going forward. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris. We are a pioneer in this industry. I'm a strong believer in the infinite game, as published by Simon Sinek, and how to continue to stay in the game and to understand how the rules change and the players change, and how to be resilient and adaptable. And as the technology ecosystem changes and grows, we always we stay true to our principles that guide us through all these changes. And one of the first principles is analytics follows the data. And as the data moves, so do we move, and so does our approach. So I'm very excited about this partnership and where we are, and our history and our place right now, and the future is very, very bright.
I want to just put a shout out to Dr. Jim Goodnight, too, founder of the company, a guy that I really respect, have met several times and interviewed, and have seen the company he's built and how open it is to its employees and how it takes care of its people. And that's the reputation the company has built over all these years. And it's an example to many
Yeah.
enterprises right now. I really say that honestly. I appreciate it.
Thank you. That means a lot. One data point to that: 2020 is going to be an outlier year for every organization, and things have been disrupted a great deal, and we have to see, how things play out. And after 44 years, this might be the first year that we're not growing. And Dr. Goodenow recognized it, has stated so publicly, but also stated that we will not furlough or lay off any employees because of this pandemic. That is the SAS way.
That's what I would expect to hear. So
that is the SAS way. And again, that goes to our culture and how that is very important to us as a company.
All right, Oliver, Dr. Oliver Schabenberger, COO and CTO of SAS. I really appreciate your time today on eSPEAKS.
Thank you for having me, Chris. Always a pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, thank you and have a great rest of your eWEEK. Thanks for joining us on eWEEK eSpeaks. Go to eWEEK.com to hear more conversations with IT thought leaders.